What's up, guys, and welcome back to my channel. Aljamain Sterling believes the UFC may not be fully behind him, and he feels like the promotion wants to see him lose. After earning a strong unanimous decision victory over Brian Ortega back in August, Sterling is convinced he has done enough to deserve the next featherweight title shot. Speaking to MMA Fighting, Aljo made it clear that he is frustrated with how things have been unfolding. He said he does not know what more he needs to accomplish to secure his opportunity. According to Sterling, he has always been willing to fight whoever is put in front of him. He even listed several names he would gladly accept, including Yair Rodriguez, Jean Silva, and Youssef Zalal. Sterling explained that when the UFC asks him who he wants to face, he provides a name that he believes is a strong stylistic matchup. However, he claims the promotion often gives him the complete opposite opponent. From his perspective, that signals they are testing him in ways designed to trip him up rather than move him forward. Despite that belief, Sterling insists he keeps proving doubters wrong. He remains confident that if he is granted a title shot, he will silence critics once again and validate his place at the top of the division. And before we continue, make sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe to help support the channel. Moving on to another news, Max Holloway has sent a serious warning to Charles Oliveira ahead of their massive showdown at UFC 326. This weekend, the BMF title will be on the line as Holloway steps into the octagon with Oliveira, and the former featherweight king is making it clear that he expects a violent battle. While showing respect to the former lightweight champion, Holloway did not hold back when describing how he sees the fight playing out. Recently, the UFC dropped the official UFC 326 countdown episode on YouTube, giving fans a closer look at both fighters as they prepare for war. In the episode, Holloway praised Oliveira's accomplishments, acknowledging everything he has achieved inside the cage. He called him an animal, a former champion, and highlighted his record for the most bonuses and most finishes in UFC history. Holloway even admitted that those accolades are pretty BMF. Despite that respect, Holloway made his intentions crystal clear. He stated that when the cage door closes, he believes he will either force Oliveira to give up or make him quit. It was a bold statement, but one that perfectly reflects Holloway's confidence and mindset heading into such a high-stakes fight. With both men known for their durability, heart, and finishing ability, it is hard to deny that this matchup has instant classic written all over it. On the other side, Oliveira is just as fired up. During the same countdown episode, he was asked about Holloway's iconic point-down gesture, the moment that signals an all-out war in the center of the octagon. Oliveira said that when Max does that, it means it is time to go all in and prove who the real BMF is. He explained that the gesture excites him and fuels his desire to push forward relentlessly. Oliveira promised that at UFC 326, he will show why he deserves the BMF belt simply by being himself, constantly attacking, moving forward, and hunting for the knockout. A win over Holloway would elevate his legacy even further, and with both warriors ready for chaos, fans can expect fireworks from start to finish. Moving on to another news, Strickland has reacted to a recent comment from Khamzat, and it has immediately added more fuel to an already heated rivalry. If you were hoping to see Nassourdine Imavov step in as Khamzat's next challenger, you might have to wait a little longer. The middleweight title picture just took another twist, and Strickland has placed himself right in the middle of it. Ever since Strickland secured a big win over Anthony Hernandez at UFC Houston, the buzz surrounding a potential showdown with Khamzat has grown louder than ever. The rivalry between the two has been building for months, with both fighters trading words publicly. Strickland has been aggressively calling for the fight, making it clear that he wants his shot at the champion. On top of that, he remains one of the promotion's biggest and most outspoken names, which only adds to the momentum. At the same time, Nassourdine Imavov is currently ranked number 2 in the middleweight division, and many fans believe he has a strong case to fight for the belt next. However, things shifted when Khamzat recently posted on X that he is waiting for Strickland. That simple statement instantly sparked controversy and speculation across the MMA community. The comment quickly made its way back to Strickland, who responded with a tweet featuring a fist bump and an American flag, a subtle but confident reaction that kept the hype alive. Shortly after, a fan asked him whether he would prefer fighting Khamzat on a potential White House card or at a later date. Strickland made his stance crystal clear, saying sooner is better and that 5 months is far too long to wait. Of course, none of this officially confirms that Khamzat versus Strickland is next, nor does it guarantee that Imavov has been passed over. But when two fighters are publicly demanding the matchup and fans are rallying behind it, the UFC often listens. Even though Strickland is just one fight removed from a loss to Duplessis, the momentum and drama surrounding this rivalry could be enough to make it happen. Moving on to another news, Colby Covington is once again turning up the heat, continuing his call-outs ahead of the proposed White House card. This time his main target remains Paddy Pimblett, and Colby is making it clear that a clash with the outspoken Brit is exactly what he wants. Speaking recently with Makhachev from MMA Fighting, Colby didn't hesitate when the topic of potential opponents came up. He immediately brought up Paddy, referencing a backstage run-in they had in Miami. According to Colby, he was walking by with a woman when Paddy started yelling at him. Colby claimed he was confused at first, asking why Paddy was shouting instead of saying it to his face. He mocked Paddy's voice and accused him of trying to create a scene without backing it up directly. The verbal shots did not stop there. Colby went on to explain why he believes the matchup makes sense, especially for a historic event like the White House card. He pointed to Paddy's personality, charisma, signature haircut, and English accent as reasons fans are drawn to him. From Colby's perspective, the storyline writes itself. A UK fighter versus an American on American soil during the 250th anniversary of American independence dating back to 1776 would create a patriotic spectacle. In his eyes, it is the biggest fight the UFC could make at 170 pounds for that event. The rivalry between the two has been brewing for months, with plenty of bad blood already established. However, Colby is also 38 years old and traditionally competes at welterweight, while Paddy has built his career at lightweight. Even so, Colby continues to push the narrative publicly. He has also been trading words with Bo Nickal in recent weeks. When asked about a potential matchup with Nickal, Colby took a jab by referencing his loss to RDR. Colby dismissed Nickal's skill set, claiming he would not be able to take him down or hurt him on the feet, and even mocked his durability. The comments were bold, but that is nothing new for Colby. At a recent appearance, Colby expanded his list of targets, calling out several names for a freestyle wrestling match. He mentioned Kamaru Usman, Arman, and Georges St. Pierre, framing it as USA versus the world. After the clip went viral, Bo Nickal fired back on social media, calling Colby a clown and accusing him of running scared. Usman also responded, reminding Colby that he broke his face, while Ali Abdelaziz chimed in, urging Colby to accept the challenge and stop avoiding Nickal. Moving on to another news, Bisping has shared his thoughts on Robert Whittaker's decision to move up to light heavyweight, and he fully supports the idea. Whittaker recently surprised many fans by confirming that he plans to make a run at 205 pounds, a move that has sparked plenty of debate across the MMA world. Ever since his split decision loss last July, Whittaker had hinted that a change might be coming. The former middleweight champion floated the possibility of competing at light heavyweight, but now he has officially confirmed the move during an interview with Submission Radio. Considering that Whittaker once competed at welterweight and has never been viewed as one of the biggest middleweights in the division, the announcement definitely caught attention. On his YouTube channel, Bisping explained why he believes the move makes sense at this stage of Whittaker's career. He pointed out that there is no shame in suffering setbacks, and sometimes a fighter needs to reinvent himself. According to Bisping, Whittaker is no longer a small middleweight. In fact, he revealed that Whittaker walks around at roughly 220 to 225 pounds, which is substantial. That makes it even more surprising to think that he once cut all the way down to welterweight earlier in his career. Bisping emphasized that Whittaker already achieved incredible success at 185 pounds, becoming a champion and building what many consider to be a future Hall of Fame resume. Now, the idea of chasing new challenges at light heavyweight could provide fresh motivation and extend his longevity in the sport. Another key factor is the toll of weight cutting. Bisping explained that when cuts become too difficult, they can drain a fighter physically and mentally. Instead of focusing on strategy, game planning, and sharpening skills, the entire fight camp can revolve around simply making the number on the scale. That, according to Bisping, is never ideal. With a healthier body and potentially more energy in camp, Whittaker could find renewed momentum at 205 pounds. The move represents both a risk and an opportunity, but with his experience and skill set, it may be exactly the change he needs at this point in his career. Moving on to another news, Brandon Moreno may not have entered UFC Mexico at 100%. Loner Kavanagh scored the biggest win of his career on Saturday night, earning a unanimous decision victory over former flyweight champion Brandon Moreno. It was a statement performance, and one of the most effective weapons in the fight was Kavanagh's brutal calf kicks, which repeatedly compromised Moreno's movement. However, shortly after the fight, fans began to question whether Moreno was already dealing with a leg issue before he even stepped into the octagon. An MMA account on X pointed out that Moreno appeared to have visible bruising on his left calf during the walkout and early moments of the fight. That observation quickly sparked speculation that the leg may have already been compromised heading into the bout. According to several viewers, Moreno not only had bruising on the back of his left calf, but there also appeared to be discoloration along the front of his shin on the same leg. Some even claimed he was dragging that leg early in the fight, before Kavanagh had fully established his kicking attack. When the first clean calf kick landed, Moreno's reaction was immediate, which only added fuel to the theory that something was already wrong. Reactions poured in online. Some fans admitted they thought it was strange how quickly the bruising worsened during the fight, while others said they had noticed the damage even before the opening exchanges. A few pointed out that Moreno had been seen wearing double knee braces in certain training clips leading up to the event. Others suggested that with the amount of mileage Moreno has accumulated over his career, lingering injuries would not be surprising. That said, it is important to note that this remains speculation. There has been no official confirmation that Moreno entered the fight with a pre-existing injury. After the bout, Moreno was taken to the hospital, but reports indicated it was purely precautionary. Regardless of the circumstances, this victory was massive for loner Kavanagh. He was not ranked inside the top 15 heading into the weekend, and was coming off a knockout loss to Charles Johnson in August, which led some critics to question the hype around him. On top of that, Kavanagh accepted the fight on short notice, making the win even more impressive. Following the victory, he even received a congratulatory call from Jon Jones. With Moreno ranked number 6 before the event, there is a strong possibility Kavanagh breaks into the top 10 when the rankings update, marking a major turning point in his career. Moving on to another news, Bobby Green has his sights set on a big-name veteran after another impressive performance inside the octagon. King Green proved once again that he is still a serious threat in the lightweight division, shutting down the rise of a younger contender in dominant fashion. On Saturday night at UFC Mexico, Green faced 26-year-old Daniel Zellhuber and stopped him in the second round with a flurry of punches. It was a sharp and calculated performance from the seasoned veteran, who showed that experience still matters at the highest level. That victory came shortly after his split decision win over Lance Gibson Jr. in December. While Gibson is older than Zellhuber at 31, he is still very much in his prime, making Green's recent run even more impressive. During his post-fight interview inside the octagon, Green surprised some fans by calling for the UFC to bring back Nate Diaz. The moment sparked curiosity, and he was later asked on the post-fight show if he was officially calling Diaz out. Green quickly clarified the situation, explaining that Nate Diaz is like family to him. He shared that when he was younger, Diaz let him live with him, they trained together, and Diaz helped guide him through the early stages of his UFC journey. For Green, it was about showing love and respect, not issuing a challenge. When it came to a real call-out, Green eventually dropped a name. He said that if he had to pick someone, it would be Michael Chandler, ideally on a potential White House card. He described it as two great Americans going at it, a matchup that certainly carries entertainment value. Whether the UFC decides to book Green versus Chandler remains to be seen. There is clear appeal in pairing two action fighters with strong personalities. However, Chandler has previously chased a fight with Conor for a long time, which could complicate things. Aside from the call-out, another major talking point was Green not receiving a full performance of the night bonus. Although he did earn an extra $25,000 for the finish, many fans felt he deserved one of the bigger awards. Interestingly, loner Kavanagh secured a performance bonus for his decision win over Brandon Moreno. Even Renato Moicano praised Green's latest showing, calling him the man and applauding the fight as a great performance. Moving on to another news. Michael Venom Page has shared his honest thoughts on a potential clash between Islam Makhachev and Ian Garry, and he is not entirely confident in Garry's chances if that fight were to happen. While MVP gave credit where it is due, he made it clear that the grappling dynamic could heavily favor Islam. According to Page, from a striking standpoint, he does not believe Islam would easily deal with Ian's distance management and speed. Garry is long, sharp, and very quick on the feet, which could create problems in open space. MVP pointed out that Ian has shown steady improvement from fight to fight, consistently tightening up areas that once looked like weaknesses. He described him as young but intelligent, someone who studies the game and evolves rapidly. However, Page emphasized that the real concern lies in the grappling exchanges. In his view, Islam may only need one successful takedown to completely change the fight. While Garry is not easy to bring down and has shown solid awareness, MVP questioned whether he possesses the same level of scrambling ability and defensive instincts required to survive against someone like Islam. He even compared the situation to JDM, praising JDM's scrambling as some of the best in MMA. MVP noted that JDM has shared the mat with elite jiu-jitsu practitioners and managed to avoid being submitted, which highlights just how strong his defensive grappling is. In contrast, he is not convinced that Ian currently operates at that same level when it comes to scrambling and getting back to his feet. Page also brought up an important point about finishing ability. While he considers Garry a very skilled striker, he does not necessarily see him as a consistent finisher. Many of Garry's fights go the distance, and that could be dangerous against a grappler like Islam. The longer the fight lasts, the greater the opportunity for Islam to secure that one crucial takedown, and sometimes that is all it takes. That said, MVP acknowledged that Garry's long frame and awkward body type could make it difficult for wrestlers to control him, drawing parallels to his own experiences against elite grapplers. Still, he ultimately described Islam as something special, suggesting that overcoming that level of dominance on the ground would be an enormous challenge.